welcome to my video. My name is Taryn and I am a huge crafty girl, and in this video we are going to finally be heeding the call of my newest hobby, which is crocheting. Right now my crafty hobby of choice is sewing, but I have wanted to learn crocheting for so long, especially in winter. Like, I don't know what it is, but I don't really enjoy sewing in winter. So now that it's August, I thought it was time to learn how to crochet so I can start like making myself some winter garments. And instead of learning through like YouTube tutorials and stuff like that, I am actually gonna be learning from my grandma. And my grandma is kind of like the OG crafty girl of our bloodline. She's super skilled at like sewing, crocheting, knitting. She does tapestries, hand embroidery, and very talented. However, I've never really had the chance to learn from her because most of my life she lived in South Africa and then I lived in Canada, in Vancouver. And flights from Vancouver to South Africa are usually like 30 or something hour trips. So I only saw her like once every few years. But now she has immigrated to Canada and she lives with my parents, which is like 5 minutes away from where I live. So I'm going to be going over and she is going to be teaching me how to crochet. I'm so excited for this because honestly, my grandma and I weren't super close, and part of it was the distance, obviously. But the other part is that I actually wasn't into crafting until maybe the last 3 or 4 years. So we didn't have this thing to bond over. And I'm very excited for her to teach me because I feel like she just has so many skills. And I feel like she's so much better like learning from someone. And who better to learn it from than my grandma? So I've picked out a beginner crocheting pattern and she is going to teach it to me. And the pattern that I am going to be learning to crochet on is called the Beginner Crochet Granny Triangle Bandana by Hey Hey Crochet. I'll put the link in the description or something. It's essentially just a little, I don't know why this is so yellow, but it's just a little triangle bandana with like little ties that you can put behind your head. I've kind of always wanted one of these. They look very cute. There's a place where I work that sells them. And the reason that I chose this pattern was because I was going through the subreddits, like the crocheting subreddit, and someone recommended this as a beginner pattern. And it looks really cute. I've actually wanted to get into like bandanas and like headbands because I don't like having my hair in my face. I like having it like tucked back. So maybe this will be like a cute way to wear it during the fall. But I sent it to my grandma. She said it looks pretty easy, so she's going to be teaching me this. Plans to go over it later today after work so that she can teach me. I'm super excited for this video. I've never really done like a crafty vlog before, so I'm hoping this is like a good opportunity for me to document, you know, learning a new craft, getting to spend time with my grandma, and maybe this will be my new hobby. Maybe I will become a crochet girly. If you have any other beginner crocheting projects that you think I should try, let me know, and I hope you enjoy the video. So I met my grandma after work at my parents' house. She had moved into my old room and it was so weird to be back in it. I wish that I had been into crafting when I still lived at home because it had like the best natural light and a spot for a desk. Since I had never crocheted before, she started by showing me how to do a slip knot and a magic circle. This was somehow insanely difficult for me. My fingers felt so uncoordinated and I couldn't figure out how to hold the thread correctly. Once I had somewhat figured that out, my grandma showed me how to do a chain stitch and a double crochet. These were the only 2 stitches that I needed for the pattern. Honestly, huge respect to my grandma. She sat and watched me crochet for like an hour, making sure that I did every stitch correctly, even though I was going so slowly. But after a while, it started to come together. I had no idea how these holes were appearing or exactly what I was doing. I was just listening to my grandma's instructions. She also showed me her whip, which is a knitted sweater that she's making for my mom. And yeah, I just kept going. This is so sped up. It's like 10 minutes of crocheting. And by the end, my forearms were so sore that I had to have her massage them for a bit. So I just had my first crochet lesson from my grandma. It was, especially the beginning, like I think the issue is that I'm a very kinetic learner. Like even for like sports or whatever, like I feel like I need to be physically manipulated into a way where like my hands can tie the knots and like do the loops and stuff like that. After a while, like the repetition kind of made sense. It was really hard like remembering how many knots, I don't know the right terms, like the right amounts of loops and things that I had to do. Like I had to do 3 double crochets and then 1 single chain and then 3 crochets but then only at the corner I had to do 3 double crochets and then 3 chains and then go back into the same hole and do another 3 double crochets. And I think I have like the general gist of it down, but now that I'm home and I don't have my grandma to like watch me do it, I know that I'm gonna get really confused. I got her to write me like a little diagram. So this is my diagram. You can see there's the sides of the triangle and then there's a point where you have to do 3 chains and then you go back down the other side. But you also have to do 3 chains on this corner because then you like turn it around and it counts as one of the double crochets. I think I'm gonna have to refer back to the pattern. This is how far I got it. She's looking cute-ish. She's looking very small. And then my grandma also tied like a little bow for where the corner of it will be so that I don't forget. She was very critical of my tension, but she says that I will get it. Honestly, I don't think it's that bad for a first time. I'm gonna continue working on it, and then once it's like the size that I want, I'm gonna go back and my grandma is gonna show me how to like do the edges, I guess, like the edges. The thing that I don't like about this is, I don't know if you can see, but there's like all these little fibers sticking up, and I think those are gonna drive me insane, like especially around my face. So I want something a little bit softer and less prickly. But yeah, I'm gonna continue crocheting and we'll see how it goes. So this is a little tedious. It is kind of relaxing, and I feel like I can watch a show while I do this, which I was not able to while sewing. Like I have this constant intrusive thought about like sewing over my nails if I'm not looking directly at the needle. So I've never been able to sew while watching a movie. So this could unlock like a new media for me in my crafting journey. I was feeling really confident with my crocheting skills when I left my parents' place, but now that I'm home and doing it alone, I feel like this is not looking right. When I was at my parents' place, like my grandma was teaching me, and she was like literally sitting over my shoulder and like watching me do every single stitch, which was very helpful. But now I'm kind of like winging it. Like I'll show you in a minute, but I fucked one of these corners and I'm not sure how it's going to turn out when I go back to that corner. So you can see here, like this corner, very cornered, very angled, looking good. But then on this last corner I just did, this is the corner I did at home. I think I missed, like, do you see there's like a chunk missing from here? So I'm not sure how this is gonna affect the rest of this bandana, like how crooked it's gonna look. So I'm now here at Michael's. I used to come here all the time when I did hand embroidery because this was the only place where I could get like embroidery skeins. Is that how you pronounce them? Skeins? I think I'm going to check out to see if they have any other crochet hooks, because the one that my grandma gave me is a little thin. Like it doesn't feel very secure in my hands. And then I'm also going to get some yarn. I have to specifically look for fine yarn, which I don't know what that means, but maybe it's the most expensive one. I don't know. We'll take a look. from Michael's. Let me show you what I got. First, I got this Loop and Threads Luxe Merino Wool Blends. 55% merino wool and 45% acrylic. And I feel like merino is good. I'm not sure how I feel about the acrylic, but pretty much everything was like acrylic. So maybe that's just how it is. But this thing was $12, which I guess is like equivalent to a yard of fabric. I don't know if that's good or not, if it's like priced well, but I got 2 of them. I'm making my like little head handkerchief thing, so I feel like these are like fall-ish colors. I don't know how this ombre is gonna turn out, but I guess we'll just see. I got an ergonomic crochet hook. See here, what I like about this one is that it has like a thicker grippy part, so I can like hold it with my fingers. The other one that my grandma had was like metal material, but it was very slippery in my hands. Like my hands kept like slipping down. So hopefully this will make my hands and my wrists feel better, because yesterday my forearm was getting quite sore. So this is how far I got on my head scarf thing. I honestly think it looks pretty cute. But over the weekend, I'm going to take this back to my grandma and I'm going to ask her how to finish the corners. I think it's called picot finishing. And then I'm going to add the little tie things and then I should be done. Today is my 3rd day of learning how to crochet. Here is where we got so far. I've started on the edging for it, but I was supposed to go over to my grandma's and she was going to teach me like how to do this, but I was really impatient and it's like raining a lot today, so I kind of just want to stay at home, and I just ended up watching the YouTube tutorial on how to do it. Surprisingly, the stitch that I'm having the most issue with is the slip stitch. I don't know, like the tension is hard to get right. I'm having trouble like getting the loop through, and I've also been getting a bit distracted. Like I've been getting a lot of YouTube like tutorials and things like that for specifically these like dragons, these like big stuffy dragons. And I was looking at making one, but it seems like it's like intermediate to advanced. So I'm going to start smaller. I think after this, I'm going to finish this for sure because I need to finish something. But then I want to try making like little keychains that I can put on my bags. I saw one for like a croissant, or they're like little like cherries or like little animals. So I'm going to do those, and then I'm going to try and build up to making these dragons. The thing that I really like about crocheting is that I can do it on the sofa, because Soba always sits next to me when I sew, obviously, because like I have to sit at a desk with my sewing machine. Soba has to sit like on the ground and he doesn't like that. He really likes being next to me. I'm also learning a lot more of the stitches. For the main body of this, I only use like a double crochet and the chain. But for the edges, I'm doing single crochets and slip knots. So I'm slowly learning what all those abbreviations mean. I feel like every single clip of me crocheting is sitting on this couch, so I'm going to try to switch up the scenery and sit outside. We have this nice little balcony area. It has like a sofa and everything. The only thing is it's kind of like loud. The main road is right behind us, so you can always hear traffic. But I'm going to try to put on my headphones. Maybe it'll block out the sound. Also, when I sit outside with the dogs, when it's like sunny, they will bark at other dogs. So it's a little bit annoying at times, but today it's raining a lot, so I don't anticipate there's gonna be any dogs outside. headband. I just finished weaving in all the ends over here, and this is how it looks. I must have miscounted on the ties because one of them is shorter than the other. Like, you can see the size difference, but I think it'll be okay. I'm gonna try it on now. I don't know how I feel about how it looks. I can't tell if this is giving pilgrim in a good or bad way. What do you think?
It looks like, it doesn't look bad actually. It looks like something you would wear when you're like out like fucking farming or something. It's actually kind of funny.
It's like, I don't know, I think it's kind of cute, but also it looks kind of like...
Yeah, I agree. Whatever you're thinking, I agree.
I'm a little skeptical, but I think it'll grow on me. Even when I sew, like the first week after I finish it, I can't wear it because I always think it looks really bad. Like I always hate it when I first finish it. I do think it's kind of cute. I feel like it's a very different vibe from what I normally wear, but I think with the right outfit, it could look really good.